An investor based in Dubai heard that he could invest in US stocks through Gift City. He logged into his existing Indian trading account and started looking for an IFSC section. Nothing came up. He called customer care. Turns out, IFSC requires a completely separate account. On the other side, a resident Indian heard that IFSC is only for NRIs. He thought, this isn't for me, and moved on. Both assumptions had gaps. IFSC access actually works across 3 different categories, and understanding which one you fall into matters before you assume you're eligible or not. Hi everyone, I'm Radhika. Today we'll cover 3 things. First, we'll understand who can broadly participate in IFSC and at what level of access. Then we'll look at what resident Indians specifically can and cannot do through this route. And finally, we'll cover what practically needs to happen once you know your eligibility. At the end of this video, I'll tell you exactly what to confirm before you take any action on IFSC, based on which category you fall into. So make sure you watch till the last. If you'd like to know more about any of the topics we cover, be sure to check the links in the description below. So the first question is IFSC eligibility one uniform rule or does it differ by investor category? It differs by category and the access level varies meaningfully. NRIs, that is non-resident Indians, and OCIs, overseas citizens of India, fall into the broadest access category at Gift City IFSC. Under the IFSCA framework, they generally have access to the full range of products listed on IFSC exchanges. That includes equities, ETFs, derivatives, bonds, and mutual funds within what is available on IFSC specifically. One important distinction worth stating clearly: your existing NRE or NRO account does not give you IFSC access. A separate IFSC specific trading and demat account needs to be opened with an IFSCA registered broker. Foreign entities and foreign portfolio investors are also broadly eligible at IFSC. Gift City was designed primarily for globally oriented participants, and this was the original core audience. RNOR investors, that is people who are resident but not ordinarily resident, typically those who have recently returned to India, generally receive NRI-like eligibility during their RNOR period. Once that status changes, both tax treatment and eligibility can shift. Confirming with a qualified advisor before making decisions is advisable here. So the Dubai-based NRI situation is clearer now. But what about the resident Indian who assumed IFSC wasn't for him? IFSC access for resident Indians is not completely closed, but it is significantly more restricted. Resident Indians who are ordinary residents can invest in IFSC only through the LRS route. That is, the Liberalized Remittance Scheme. Under current RBI guidelines, the LRS limit is USD 2.5 lakh per individual per financial year. But the restriction is not just on the amount. There are product level restrictions too. Resident Indians can use LRS to invest in select global equity products made available on IFSC exchanges, subject to which products are live with your broker at that time. However, resident Indians generally cannot use LRS funds for leveraged derivatives like futures and options. Gift City mutual funds and foreign currency fixed deposits are also not directly accessible for resident Indians through this route. There's also an important distinction worth knowing, specifically on equity listing. When an Indian company lists its shares on an IFSC exchange under the direct listing framework, only NRIs, OCIs, and other non-resident investors are eligible to invest. Resident Indians cannot participate in that listing. When a global company's shares are made available on an IFSC exchange, resident Indians can participate through the LRS route alongside NRIs and non-residents. A simple way to think about it: NRIs and OCIs have comparatively broader access. Resident Indians have access, but it is limited to specific products and within the LRS cap. This framework continues to evolve. What applies today may change in the future. Verifying current rules with your broker or through IFSCA's official resources before investing is strongly advisable. So the category is clear, but what do you practically do next? Go back to the Dubai investor for a moment. His mistake was assuming his existing account would work, but it doesn't. To participate in IFSC, you need to open a separate account, specifically with a broker registered under IFSCA. Brokers registered on domestic exchanges do not automatically operate in IFSC. Different entity, different registration. Documents broadly required are as follows. For NRIs, passport, overseas address proof, and PAN for most products. For resident Indians, standard domestic KYC documents along with an LRS declaration processed through your bank. In 2025, IFSCA introduced video KYC for NRIs in select countries. This means physically visiting India to complete the process is not always necessary now. But availability varies by country and broker, year, so confirming this before starting is advisable. One thing relevant across all categories: tax treatment. Gift City offers certain India-side tax benefits, particularly for non-residents. But tax-free in India does not mean tax-free everywhere. Your country of residence has its own tax laws that will still apply. Getting clarity from a qualified tax advisor before investing is advisable, not optional. So if you want to explore IFSC access, confirm these 4 things first. What is your residency status? NRI, OCI, RNOR, or resident Indian? This determines which products are available to you. Identify a broker specifically registered with IFSCA. Domestic registration does not cover IFSC access. If you're a resident Indian, check your current year LRS utilization and confirm which specific products are accessible to you. Get clarity on tax treatment in your country of residence from a qualified advisor before committing any capital. IFSC access is broadly available, but the terms are meaningfully different depending on your category. Verifying before assuming saves a lot of confusion later. Here's a question for you. Are you an NRI, OCI, or resident Indian? And what has been your biggest confusion about IFSC so far? Let us know in the comments and follow FinDoc so you don't miss the next video.
Investments in the securities market are subject to market risk. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.